Hi friends, and welcome back to Jewelry with Jen. Of course, I am Jen and welcome. Today guys, we are going to make a really pretty necklace project using some leather, and we'll do some simple overhand knots and make a really beautiful kind of moon and star, right? Inspired necklace, but putting it on leather to give it a bit of an organic boho feel. So what you'll do to get started, guys, is I just basically grabbed my ruler and I got a bunch of my leather and then I folded it in half, okay, and then I marry up my ends here. Okay, so I married up my ends, and then what I did was folding again, folding your leather in half, put it on your ruler, folded, and then go ahead and cut off a 30-inch piece. Now, that's obviously giving allocation for making our knots along the way. I'm looking to make around a 20-ish inch necklace. So I gave myself an additional 10 inches for crimping and for tying off my knots. Okay, so once you have cut your leather, we're gonna put a jump ring on the focal. Okay, and so I'll just pop that on my leather. And then I'm gonna marry my ends again so that I can find the center. My finger and do a straight overhand knot. And then I'm going to push that knot right where I want it to be, which is basically right on top of that jump ring. And we can pull it down a little bit if we need to. And what's really nice about this cowhide leather, it does have a little bit of stretch to it, and so it will relax a little bit. As usually I'll hang them up for about like like a 24-hour period, and then your leather will relax. So that is what I now have. Okay, just a simple knot right on the top there. Okay, and now I am going to work on one strand at a time, and you can see the pattern that I have laid out. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and feed on my pattern. And all of my little sections are going to get a knot. Well, most of my sections. We'll see what happens. We'll see how this works out. Okay, so there I have my 3 beads right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and push those down, and then I'm just going to go ahead and tie a regular overhand knot. And then once again, I am going to push my knot in place where I want my knot to be. Okay, right there. And then I'll go with my next section, which I have 2 of the crystals and a spacer in between as we go along. And so this is where my next section of beads is going to be. And then right here, I am going to actually tie 2 knots. So we'll have a little bit more space. And so I'm just doing a regular overhand knot and pushing that knot right on top of that crystal. Okay, and then I'm going to do a second knot, regular overhand knot, and I'm going to make sure that this knot lays right on top of the previous knot that I just made, not over it. I want it to lay right next to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and slowly push that knot into place where it is directly above that previous knot, just like that. Okay, and so that gave us a little bit more space for the next run. And our chain nose, and that end is finished. And now we'll go over to this side. Now what's cool that I was thinking to do on this side over here, guys, is instead of starting with this bead on the bottom, I'm gonna reverse it, right? Because it's a nice big bead. So I'm gonna actually reverse that first section. And so we'll go with that 6mm bead, the spacer, and then the 10mm. So it'll be, you know, like a hair of asymmetrical. Not too much, but a hair. And so that's what it'll look like at the bottom. And so we'll go ahead and let me get it turned this way. And then we'll go ahead and start doing our knots. And I'll just go ahead and continue this, doing my pattern. Okay, and now what I did over here with this connector, guys, was I took and went down through that bottom, and then we went up through the top, okay? And then I put it in place, and then I came up again, back through the top hole here, okay? I'll do it slow so you can see it, what I did. And then see how I kind of have a circle going on here. And now I am gonna go underneath again, okay, right through the center of that hole. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. And now I am going to, once again, it's kind of an infinity knot, and I'm gonna push this, making sure everything is right where it needs to be. And I'll go ahead and push that knot right on top, where it's kind of right on top of that connector there. Just like that. Just so you know. So that's your little close up there. And then even though we've already finished off the one side, I'll show you on this side how to do just exactly that. If you want to use some glue, if you're not familiar, I shall show you. So let me get my last 2 knots in here. So we did 2 knots at the top here. Now you can use your hypo cement, your E6000. You can use any glue that you prefer, any of your preferred glue. I use a lot of times, I use quite a bit of different types of glue, but lately I've been using the Loctite Super Glue Gel Control. You can find this anywhere, your local hardware store. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it lots of places. Okay, so that's what I have. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, once again, we're gonna grab our clamshell and we'll glue this side, and we'll put that leather right through that clamshell with the belly facing up, and then we'll put our crimp on. We'll grab our ruler. We can grab our ruler or we can match it up. Either way is fine. So what I'll do is, let me see if I can match it up here. I guess that's a fine idea. So that's, I suppose, what I shall do. Now, I'm kind of having to hold this clamshell down, guys, and like stretch it out straight, right? By pulling on my component down here, my moon component. Okay, so once again, we'll go ahead and crimp that down. And you can use any crimping method that you want. We'll go ahead and, again, trim that really close to our crimp, but not directly up next to it. We'll give it a little bit of tail. Okay, trim that off. And pretty close. Now we'll pull the clamshell up, guys. Okay, and before I close the clamshell, now I'll go ahead and I will put a smidge of glue inside that clamshell. Okay, so all you do is, and all you need is literally a dab. So let me get it going here. Okay, so you see that I literally have a dab, a smidge. And then you just go ahead and stick that right there inside the belly of your clamshell, just like that. And then we'll use our chain nose to try to go ahead and close it, because once we close it, now all the glue will adhere to both the leather and the crimp for extra security. That is not going anywhere. And the Loctite gel control, I mean, it literally dries, guys, in like 5 minutes or less. It's very quick drying glue. So there's the ends of our necklace. And now all I have to do is put on some jump rings and our clasp. So I will typically hang my leather necklaces for like a day. And it works for me. And so there we go. So that's what I have in the back, my cute little dangle. And this is what we have made. Oops, you're getting all cut up there, buddy. And that's what we have, guys. Beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. I love, love, love it. Super, super cute. I hope you're inspired. And